The adoption process can take a varying length of time, anywhere from 60 to 90 days to several years, depending upon how you are going about your adoption process. If we're talking about a close relative adoption, say you're adopting your stepchild or your niece or your nephew or your brother or sister even, the process is much shorter. In order for the court to enter a final decree of adoption in one of those kind of cases, the child has to be in your care for 60 days. So an adoption could be over in as little as, say, 65 to 90 days, giving some time, some leeway time in there before meeting with your attorney and getting the documents filed and the court to put it on their schedule. If you're trying to do an adoption through an agency, that can depend on the availability of children to be adopted at the time. If you're looking for an infant, a newborn baby, you could be on the waiting list for quite some time. However, there are several children who are waiting to be adopted who are not infants, but are in the 3 to 18-year-old range. And you would have a much shorter waiting time in order to adopt one of those children. Sometimes you can shorten your waiting time by dealing with an interstate adoption agency that will make connections for you with children in other states, especially if you're looking for an infant. Even though then you have to deal with 2 lawyers in 2 states and 2 sets of laws, you can shorten the amount of time to find a baby suitable for adoption, across state lines. The other issue that you may look at is trying to do some sort of international adoption. Those adoptions can take quite some time due to the international nature of the adoption, the need for home studies, the need for visits in the home country. You're not likely to get an infant, in the newborn phase if that's the process you choose to take. You're normally going to be adopting a child that's 2, 3, or 4 years old, and that can take some time in order to make sure that you're cleared on both sides, both in the United States and in the country you're seeking to adopt from.